James Harden, 2 for 18 against the Wolves last night, but he said he wasn't worried after game 1. Anyone here worried?
Why should he be? I mean, they only won by 20 points with the best player, the MVP of this year's league, going 2 for 50. I mean, how does your best player have this type of performance and you still win by 20 in a playoff
asking
game?
that question tonight? LeBron James.
Come on, man.
That's what I was about to say.
Like, I wish when I played that I was able to struggle like this in a game and my team still...
Are you saying that you had heavy players?
Man,
we have numbers here.
This is, come on, man.
Look at this.
77? Well, hold on. 46 out of 77
Rest in
points.
team scored 31.
77 points. I had 46 of them.
And you still lost.
And we still lost.
Because rest
How
of the
does
team
that
had
even
31.
happen?
Rest of the team had 31
How did that happen? How did 31 points? First of all, that means Tracy played like damn near 47 minutes that game. There's no way.
I averaged like 42 minutes. But no, I mean,
yeah, Tracy, though, I'm always really happy when we
I see, and I don't know
that's
whether
when we met, and I remember him.
I don't know if this is great, Rockets team, or Minnesota's just playing that bad, man. Because I mean, this shouldn't happen when James
Look,
struggled.
it's a 1 versus an 8. This is, I mean,
But they're not an 8 seed. They're not really an 8 seed. The only reason they dropped to the 8 seed because Jimmy Butler got hurt and got out.
You keep saying that about Washington too. People end up at 8 for a reason.
Washington's 8 for real. But they're really an 8 seed. But I'm with Tracy that these guys are not an 8 seed because Oklahoma could have been the 8 seed. San Antonio could have been the 8 seed.
Denver could have been the 8 seed.
Denver could have been the 8 seed. I mean, like, so it wasn't like they're your typical 8 seed.
Right.
They're more talented than this.
They are.
But I would say this, Tracy. I think that's a hallmark of a great team, right? That as James Harden, I don't have to save the day every single time. Now, some people are going to take that and say, well, doesn't that mean he shouldn't be MVP? No, it's not about that. Just because he plays on a great team doesn't mean he didn't have a great season. I'm just saying this tells you that the Rockets team is a very good team, and they don't need to have...
Or he's going to win Executive of the Year this year.
Oh, he should.
Going to happen.
No
I do want to talk about the Wolves team, though, because Karl-Anthony Towns posting just 5 points, didn't score after the first quarter. Remember all the talk going in? He's got to be more active. He's got to demand the ball. Here's how he responded to a question about playoff pressure after the game.
I just go out here and I just try to find ways to win. I'm not looking for statistics and all that hype and glory and all that BS that does not, I'm here for wins and dubs. Whatever I got to do to win the game. Like I said before, if it takes me shooting 34 shots, 30 shots, whatever the case may be, 5 shots, 1 shot, no shots, whatever the case is, I got to do for us to win.
Put down your tea, T-Mac, and speak because you were making a lot of gestures during that soundbite.
Listen here, man. I love Karl-Anthony Towns. He's a well-talented player in our league. But right now, in these first 2 games, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying Karl-Anthony Towns is playing soft.
Okay.
He's being beat up by Clint Capella. He's taking him out of his game. I don't know if he's in his head, but right now he is playing soft basketball. For him to have 5 points in the first quarter and don't score anymore, you are the best player on this team. You have to demand the ball. I don't care if you shoot the ball 20, 25 times. Your team won't be competitive if you play like this. Y'all going to get swept out of Minnesota.
And that's not, you saw in there, heard in the soundbite, he mentioned, I don't play for glory or stats, and that's not what you're talking about. And by the way, that distinction you just made, stop that. That distinction is pretty good. The way that the shoulders go, they match, right? That's nice. The distinction you made, I think, is important. You're saying that because you don't think he's a soft player.
No.
So you think he's got the capability. You've seen him.
I've seen it. I've seen it all season long. Like, this guy is one of our young and up-and-coming great talents in our league. He is not showing that. These last 2 games, I don't know who that is. Like we used to say, like we said last year, like who was that in that Rockets series last year, James Harden Game 6? Like who was that guy? Who is this dude?
Yeah.
Like you have a mismatch every single night. These guys are switching pick and rolls. Get your butt on the block and cause havoc.
Wow. Again,
Please.
I will point out, and I've said this all week, this is his first playoff series.
No, Rachel, I don't want to hear that.
Well, the reason why
I was
Donovan
19.
Mitchell,
I was 19, 20 years
you
old.
also were special. This was about to say.
He's
The reason-
special.
You were special.
Where's that Hall of Famering, man?
He's special.
You
You
a Hall
trying to
of
say this
Famer.
guy's
Come
not
on, man.
special?
No, I'm saying my point is, I'm sitting here. I spent the first 10 minutes of the show praising Donovan Mitchell for being such a heady rookie because it is unusual. What we are seeing from Karl Anthony Towns is what we would more usually see from a rookie in his first playoff series.
No.
You were also special.
He can't get away with that. Like, this guy's too talented. He's too good for that. Like, you're not gonna have a great regular season, then you get to the playoffs and this is showing. No, you have to come to play. You are the best player on this team. They look for you to lead. Dang it, go out there and do that.
Is Tibbs talking in your earpiece? Because I'm pretty
Tibbs
sure
got
that's.
that
Nah, man, I'm saying because I expect more out of him, and he's not showing that. I expect more, and he should give more for his team.
Well,
right now, he's playing soft.
At least a couple more games. We'll have to see. I want to get to the series.
Go, big
that
fella.
moved to Miami. Joel Embiid listed as doubtful for Game 3 against the Heat tonight. We all remember his IG post after Game 2. We know he wants to be out there. We're not going to put the swear words up on TV again, but we will continue to monitor that situation. So will the rest of the Heat. Ben Simmons, the Heat made the adjustment of pressuring Ben more in Game 2. What do you guys think Ben can expect from the Heat as he goes down to that tough road environment?
Well, I think first of all, we start with the adjustments that Philly's going to make to kind of take away that. Whether you set a screen high to kind of get that, rub that guy off him or whatever it is. But then the other thing, and this is where it gets complicated, and this is why I kind of give credit to staffs like the Heat that have been there, been through the fires or whatever. You know, they've spent 2 days, Philly, trying to figure out how to get Ben free, right? And they're going to do those things. Problem is, Miami spent 2 days thinking about, okay, they're going to make this adjustment. So what adjustment are we going to do? And Mac, you know this as a great player. They don't always show it to you right at the opening tip, right? They let you go 2.5 quarters, you find your rhythm, and then boom, we spring a different package and see how you can react to that.
Well, I think the thing that Miami has in their favor is that you're adjusting to somebody that can't shoot from outside. So pretty much your game plan is the same. Keep bodies around him. Make him see bodies. Compact the lane and get out to their shooters. Like, Ben can't, he's not shooting outside shots, so you're not really pressuring him up top. You making Ben come to you because he's gonna come to you. Just keep a body in front and make him see crowded bodies.
I mean, he's a great passer
He is.
already, and they have, I mean, look, just even their pickups in the buyout market, they just surround him with so many shooters that it makes that strategy, sometimes you get burned by it.
Sure, but the idea is to give him different looks, and he has to process it. So what we just talked about Donovan Mitchell, we talked about Karl Anthony Towns, Ben Simmons is a rookie as well. It's first time in the playoffs. It's hard.
Is he a rookie, or is he? No, I'm just kidding.
It's his first. He's a playoff rookie. That one we can all agree to. And so this is his first time having to deal with adjustments and switching coverages and all that from game to game against the same opponent.
Spoelstra is going to push that button.
So a lot of times we always talk about the importance of experience in the playoffs, right? And people think we're just being lazy. We're just going with guys that we've seen do it before.
Right.
But it's more than that. Think about what Dwayne Wade talked about after Game 2, the steal he had on Starch at the end of that game to go for a dunk. He said, I saw them run it, then I was on the bench, and I saw them run it again. And he said, if they run it again when I'm out there, I'm ready. And so if you look at this play, he starts before the ball even gets to Sarge. He knows as soon as his man's in the corner and Simmons is up top and Sarge fighting for that elbow, here we go. Yeah. And that's the difference. That's when we talk. When I took the Heat over the Sixers, people think I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm talking about that. These are the things. You did the same thing.
Absolutely.
My man.
Absolutely.
See? But that's what we're talking about when we talk about experience, playoff experience. We're not talking about a mystical, magical powder we're gonna rub on each other and then
that too.
Yeah, that too. But it's more about
what goes on in his life.
it's just more about that preparation and anticipation. Not anticipation because I have spidey sense. Anticipation because he's been there before. He's seen it before.
You're reading the game.
Yeah.
You're seeing the game. It's a game within the game.
Well, the other game within the game for the Heat is which is so excited for the show.
That's a game right there.
Right?
That is a game.
He has been engaged or not engaged at different points in the season, in the series, in any individual game, and he said he is looking forward to the opportunity of playing against Joel Embiid if Embiid returns to the series, because, you know, they've had issues. Take a listen to the sound.
Do you sort of like, come on, Joel, I'm ready for you?
You know, I'm ready for any opponent. You know, every day I come in, I prepare. You know, I'm one of the better defenders in the league, so I like to take pride in my defense.
mean, that actually, if you're Coach Spoelstra, that was the way you want him to answer
that
that
was a
question,
good quote.
right?
Yeah, and
Boring as possible.
I mean, I expect this from him because, you know, him and Embiid had some thing going on this regular season. But I actually think this is in Whiteside's favor if Embiid comes back because it's tough to play him right now with Embiid out the way Philly is playing.
Right.
So with them having a post presence, meaning Philly, he has to play, you know, and I think he will be locked in and accept this challenge. This will work into Whiteside's favor if Embiid comes back.
So there are two different things. One is, obviously, Philly is a better team when Embiid plays. But the playoffs is not just about what makes me a better team. It's about matchups. And what Mac just talked about is right now, the way Philly plays with Embiid not on the floor is tough for Miami to match up against because they're so quick and athletic and so many shooters. You put Embiid out there, the game slows down. But the slow down helps Miami. It doesn't help Philly, even though Embiid is a great player. The other thing is you play Whiteside, and when you have someone that he can guard and someone he can be focused and engaged with, you get good Whiteside. And then that makes Miami a better team. So not only are you playing a pace that favors them, but you're also giving them a player who right now isn't much of a positive for them. You play him against Embiid, now he becomes a positive.
So you're saying that Hassan Whiteside hacked Joel Embiid's IG, and that's why we got that. Coming up, is next season already over for the Knicks? Producer Steve, we got you in this next segment.
Sorry, T-Dez.
Not too soon? Might not be too soon. You might not think that when you hear what James Dolan thinks of Kristaps Porzingis'
he's not the doctor.
timetable. First, though, here's our distant replay. This year, 1999. Amin El-Hassan.
It's not Vince Carter because they weren't in the playoffs. Where were they in that rookie year?
Oh,
no, they were.
No, that's
99 was because of the lockout. Yep. And there it is. You know what?
where am I?
No,
I'm somewhere on there now.
and there's another one.
Come on, DA. What are you doing, DA?
See, look at that little...
DA, what are you doing?
Look at that.
And then that
Dumped on my boy, DA.
years later, you were...
What makes a great custom suit?